John 5:43. Ego veni in nomine Patris mei, et non accipitis mei. Si alius venerit in nomine suo, illum accipietis. I have come or came in the name of my Father, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, you will receive him. Here Jesus is continuing to contrast the willingness of the Jewish leaders of the day to recognize testimony other than the testimony which testifies to Christ, who he is and what his mission is. And there's nothing terribly difficult in the grammar here, but a couple things we want to note. First is this perfect active indicative here, ego veni. We can take this in two senses, either in the simple past or as what sometimes is called present past, that is emphasizing the present result of a past action. If we wanted to do that latter, we could say, I have come. And if we just wanted to treat it as simple past, we would say came. Both of these are accurate translations. This is a distinction in English that we sometimes want to make in order to emphasize one thing or another. I think in either case, these would work here. I have come, or I came, in nomine, in the name of, that is representing as a kind of ambassador, and then we get our genitive phrase here which explains that, in the name of my Father, the Father of me, literally. And here's what happened. And this is the key word in this verse, and you'll see it used again in sort of the second member of this bipartite construction here. Accipio, accipere. You do not, you all, notice well, this is you plural, you all do not receive or accept me. But here's another case given now with a conditional sentence. If, on the one hand, this happens, then this other thing will happen. And this is one of those conditional sentences. They're classified different ways by different Latin books. I like how in Gildersleeve and Lodge's grammar, this is simply called a logical conditional sentence. That is one that simply states, if one thing happens, then another thing will happen, with nothing really implied about the unreality or ideal conditions under which something may happen or could have happened but didn't. This is just a straightforward condition. If X happens, then Y result will follow. Now, you can use any tense of the indicative in these kinds of conditional sentences in Latin. And I would encourage you, by the way, just to go to your textbook or grammar of choice and review the whole section on conditional sentences. There's all kinds of little rules and exceptions that it just takes some time to get used to, but frequent review will help you. Here, if another person, alius, some other guy, now in English I'd say if he comes, but I want you to notice in Latin, this is the future perfect. And notice, as we've said before, Latin is much more finicky about using precisely the right tense than English is. In English, we're a bit more loosey-goosey about this. So literally in Latin, if another will have come in his own name, so we're envisioning an event that's in the past, but from a perspective that's in the future. So if we fast forward several days from now, and we look back and say, oh, this guy has just come, what will happen further on in the future? And here we get a future form. And it's really nice to have these next to each other, by the way, because it allows you to see that distinguishing future tense marking E there. Not accipitis, but accipietis. Remember, accipio, accipere is a third conjugation verb, and therefore we don't have that bi infix to alert us to the fact that this is a future form. We've got to notice that E indicating future time to us. So if another will have come, in English we'd probably just say if another comes in his own name, and notice here we have suo, this adjectival form of the pronoun, in his own name, you will receive or accept him. Literally, of course, is a demonstrative, that person, but here probably weakens just to the force of English him. That is equal more or less to Latin eum.